The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year.
What's up, guys? So the full clip that I saw was only 2 minutes long, and I was wondering if anybody has a link to the entirety of this broadcast or whatever this came from that I could go back and listen to it in its entirety to, because context matters and because literally nothing that she said in the full 2-minute clip made any sense at all. The first thing I heard was her talking something about desirability going up and down, when the truth of the matter is what we're speaking on is a personal preference and your own personal list of deal breakers and must-haves and so forth and so on, which means that it is rooted in opinion and thus not fact, so it cannot be properly quantified and researched and supported by data. And once again, of course, even if it could, what we do know is through the brainwashing machine of white supremacy and the European standard of beauty, what you think is your preference is actually just your programming. So that opinion that you come up with actually is not even your own. The next thing I heard her talk about is singling black women out as it pertains to reproductivity after a certain age, when we know for certain that that whole biological clock ticking thing actually applies to all women of all races. So it was weird to just single black women out. Yeah, false. And then also the last thing was talking about how educated black women are outnumbering black men 7-1, and then following that up with something weird about rushing to choose all from the same limited source of men, when the obvious answer to that problem would be to clearly date outside of your race the way that black men do. I don't understand. Like I'm saying, like nothing that she said made sense in that 2-minute clip. Like, why would you limit your options when the better option is to, instead of waiting on one particular set of men of a particular race to grow up, earn more income, become more educated, to stop bastardizing their children, to actually be the leaders, protectors, providers, head of household, because every other race abides by these rules of the patriarchy. The quickest shortcut to that is to take a shortcut to another race, if that's what we're doing. And to tie that back into this whole desirability thing and options going up. The options are going up because black men are not limiting their options. I mean, this stuff is basic 1 + 1 is 2 type things. Also, in the spirit of balance, and so I can help kind of quantify some of the stuff that she was saying, I would really appreciate it if you would do 2 things for me. Drop the links to some white, Hispanic, and Asian fathers instructing their daughters to be the breadwinners and the head of household and to marry men who make less money and are less educated than them, or actually encouraging their daughters to marry black men. If I could just get a link to any of those videos, just drop it in the comments. And then, hey, lastly, if you can drop the names, or I'm sure there's plenty of them, where, of course, for balance sake, you have black men that are instructing black men to limit their options, only date, marry, procreate with black women, be head of household, high income earners, leader, protector, providers, and also to stop bastardizing their children. I'm sure this is happening somewhere. So if you could give me those names and those links, I'd greatly appreciate it, so that I can basically just destroy everything that she said. Anyway, thanks. But of course, since you're not going to be able to do anything that I ask, you should probably stop falling for it and stop engaging in any content that you can tell from the outset just by looking at the thumbnail, the content creator themselves, or the caption or title, that the aim of it is going to be to destroy black women's self-esteem or make them the butt of a joke. Yeah, just stop engaging with it. That makes more sense. Okay, bye.